The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to McStabber Studios for a special presentation of an indie RPG called Nighthawks by Titanomachy RPG. And it is an amazing little indie one-shot game that is available on itch.io. I actually picked it up a while back during purchase of a Ukraine bundle that was helping folks in Ukraine. It's been in many charity bundles, and it's only like $4, so you should get over to itch.io, and I'll post that in Discord after the game to get a copy of it yourself, if nothing else, for the great read that this game is. This game is a little bit of unique compared to what we typically run on McStabber Studios. This is a GM-less game. So I, Momma McStabber, am not gonna be really running this game. I am a collaborative player just like everyone else at the table tonight. And we are all playing lonely people. We all have been wounded or broken in some way that has driven us to be lonely. We are trying to heal that hurt the best way we know how. And this setting takes place just after World War II. So it is a time where many nations were wounded and trying to recover. Each of us are playing characters that have entered into a diner in our respective locations wherever we were. And just so happened that we all ended up in the same place at the same time. This game will cover sensitive subjects relating to mental health, also other topics that can lead to depression, loneliness, sadness, things like that. Please understand we do take your well-being seriously, and if you find this at all triggering, please mute the stream, step away, or just quit watching. We want you to take care of yourself. And at the end of this stream, like we do with all others, we will be posting hotlines for help if you need that help. So without further ado, I, Momma McStabber, will be playing Frances Wilson. She was a nurse during the war. She met somebody during the war. Love of her life. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond her control, they were separated. And when she got home after the war was done, her parents forced her to marry someone she didn't love. A doctor. And now she lives in Manhattan in a loveless marriage where she is incredibly nostalgic, incurably nostalgic for the love she lost. And she has a tendency to rush emotional intimacy with people she meets to try to fill that void. The person that she dated during the war just happened to have walked into the diner tonight. And now we'll pass it over to our next lonely person.
Hi, I'm Vampire Brat. I play Elizabeth Williams. I grew up in a anti-gay household and ended up dating somebody who I was never in love with. And when they went off to war, I found um, a female who made me see what love is. Unfortunately, she met with a tragic end, and I didn't see how I could go on living, but I went started going to therapy because I wanted to believe that life is more than just heartbreak. And I just want everybody else to smile and not feel the pain that I went through.
And now we will go to Dan. Oh, you're muted.
Hit the button, I thought, and it just muted me again. I'm House. I am playing August Marsh. I was a soldier in the war, and due to my proficiency at taking others' lives, I was stationed many different places. The one thing that kept me going was knowing that the love of my life was waiting for me back home, though upon my return, she wasn't there. No note, no sign, just gone. So I became a recluse, turning to art, traveling the country, and um, upon returning back home to London, uh, stepped into an old diner that was familiar to me. Um, much to my surprise, came across someone I didn't think I would see again.
And now Junie.
I'm Gina Von Esch, and I'm playing Sorsha, or Scorch O'Connell. She was a spy in the war, and what had happened was she got pinned down. Her fiance's company came in to try and save her. They were bombed out. She met somebody that eased the pain quite a bit. Was then thrown into another medical ward due to more bombing. Funny how that happens. And then she was sent back home. She has been heartbroken for some time and is now being told that she has to marry, and has been on a string of endless dates that go absolutely nowhere. She's moved from Ireland to America, and she is trying to heal through a simulation through a new country, atoning for her past, and lots of crochet. And now she walks into a diner where she's seeing some familiar faces and is not sure how to process any of this right now.
And now Will.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Ravnos Archon. I'll be playing Edmund Douglas Cunningham. He is a good Scottish lad that grew up a little too late for World War One and a little too old for World War Two. But coming back home, he is now a distributor for home whiskey called Cutty Sark. He has lost a lot of people in a short amount of time, and it's always been in very key moments. So he has taken to hating God as a source of relief. And given that he is working for whiskey, that he has taken to using substances to heal. And unfortunately, in this diner for me, is the one that got away, and the only person that I think that ever showed me that I could love myself.
All right, so the way this game plays, it is based on the Caltrop system. So it uses D4s. And this game is played in a series of nights. Each night, we can each do one action, and that action will help us narrate a story of this diner. But this diner, we are all in here at various tables or at the counter, individually, not congregated together. There is, all of a sudden, it's like as soon as the last person entered the diner, a horrible blizzard raging outside. And the lights are flickering periodically, like we might lose power. And it's quite possible, with the way the storm is raging, we might see some other people come in and out throughout the night. So who would like to go first with their nightly activity?
I think, given the face of Siobhan, um, I would like to slip into a daydream of bits.
All right. Go ahead and tell us what you're going to do.
So I think Edmund is sitting at a booth tonight. I think he's ordered the same thing he's always ordered, which is just plain sandwich. Uh, he's a very simple, frugal man. I think I am going to let the snow, which I absolutely hate, just kind of carry my thoughts out into the darkness beyond. And I'm going to remember the first time I saw Siobhan. Uh,
Sorsha.
do I have a connection to Sorsha?
Oh, who was Sho?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know who Siobhan is, but I'm Sorsha.
Yeah. No,
Oh, you're
the
talking about a
face,
different character. Okay.
yeah, the face that I saw come in reminded me of my first love.
Oh, okay. Got you. I'm sorry. I was confused.
It's okay. I I I want to say that it was right before leaving to join the Royal Air Force for King and Country, of course, and the decision to separate uh, had taken a toll on her more than I thought it would. Um, and I want to say that the real reason I went into the Air Force was just to get away from every mundane thing that I felt was holding me down at the time. I feel like if I had stayed, I would have been as dreadful a person as I eventually became anyway, just with hating. I would have ended up hating, I think, Siobhan and whatever life we would have built out there for ourselves. I feel like leaving was the best thing at the time for me. I just found out I was adopted. I had just lost or I say our, but my younger sister was actually their child, but we had just lost our mother. And I wanted to feel like perhaps I could have been just like my foster father. And it hurts to say that because I always grew up thinking that he was my father, my real father. Um, but I don't think I ever really fit in with the family. And it wasn't until I left the Air Force that I actually got to look back and really understand the differences that we had with each other. My pa, he was a bull of a man, just hard headed, a little too eager for the belt to fix wrongs, I think. But it made me able to withstand the long nights, the hard nights of training. I think it's the only thing we ever had in common is the fact that we were both soldiers. but he got to see war, and I left right before everything escalated with Germany, and I don't think it ever sat right with him. And he never said anything about it. But seeing Siobhan made me think of what could have happened and how I could have ended up in that same position where I just may have been a little too eager to use the belt as a compliance device. And I think that not having children was the best path for me. And I look over at her, and I don't know if she recognizes me. I'm gonna just slowly turn back out towards the window, and I'm gonna get lost in the snow a bit, I think.
All right, so with daydreaming, you gain a token for narrating that scene.
Hot dog.
In the booth, about 3 booths down from Edmund, sits Frances, a pretty brunette woman in a red dress. Her husband is working tonight at the hospital. She came in for a cup of coffee just to get out of the damn house. Out of her prison. She takes out a book from her purse. It's her journal from the war. She always keeps it close, because if her husband ever found it, oh, he would be livid. She reads it as she sips her coffee and reminisces, daydreams a bit on the memories of her and her firebrand Scorch. How they met when she was wounded. A bond developed as Frances cared for her. And they began spending time together after she had healed. And things just went from there. She hasn't really paid attention to anyone in the diner at all. And I will take a token for that. You are muted, Dan.
Third time's going to be the charm. I was sitting at the last bar top seat, back turned to everyone. And when the last door dings, I turn and take in the handful of people I see, and I start to shut down. That can't be her. Can't be her. And then I see Ms. O'Connell. Thinks she's supposed to be in America. What is she doing here? And then he just gets a glimpse of the face of the man sitting at the booth, looking out into the winter. And he kind of shakes his head, kind of tries to clear it. Can't be. It's his face. He's the one I see. Without fail, every year, every fucking year. What's he doing here? What's he doing? Why now? Why now? And I start to scoot as far away, turn my back, and I just pull out a sketch pad and start sketching to myself, trying to close myself off as much as I can from these three faces that I recognize. Let's say if you were to scroll through my sketch pad, it's really the same scene just over and over again. A man on a bench in what looks to be a park. You can't see his face, his back is to us. To one side of the bench, the rest of the bench completely open, but where the sun should be is just a black hole. And pages, same scene with minor variations. And after seeing three faces that just shouldn't be in this place, three faces that one face in particular he really didn't think he'd see again, and much less want to see again, he withdraws further into whatever black hole he's been sitting in these last few years. And I will tick down on my isolation, having withdrawn further into myself.
Okay, so your isolation die ticks down by 1, so you are now at 1. If it hits 0, you will be unable to reach out because your heart will be closed off until you can get it back to 1 or more.
It was a really cold night, and having to leave the house. So I didn't have to listen to Mommy yelling again and again and again, being sent off to whatever diner. I was supposed to meet some man again just to try and find an empty booth. And scuffling in with a whole crowd, just trying to get in at least. The hip doesn't work the way it used to. Damage was done in the war, and no one seems to care. Everyone wants to get along and get around, and the cane at times puts people off. So I've learned how to hide it and mask it when I walk, and just trying to shuffle on in and see how they all walk, and noticing how the Americans are very kind of loud and boisterous. It's nothing like home. In this home, everything made sense there. And just trying to shuffle through, well, canes as they are, not exactly the most to move about. And, I may have hit a table or two, tried to quietly muddle apologies, and I may or may not have accidentally hit somebody drinking a cup of coffee, or they were putting their coffee cup back. And again, quietly muttering apologies, trying to get to the back. You know he's not coming. So what do you do for 2 hours, 3 hours? Just enough time for Mommy to get to sleep so I can sneak back into the house and quietly just pretend the night never happened. Just trying to get on through another night.
You bump the table as Frances sets her coffee cup down. And when you mutter the apology, instantly she is snapped out of her reverie and her reminiscence and looks at you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Scorch?
I haven't heard that name in ages. I was called that years ago. Hi?
You don't recognize me.
It's
What are you...
hold on. Yeah.
It's Franny.
No.
Yeah.
Fran? What is she doing here for? Wait, what are you doing here? You used to be all in the gumption of the high places. What are you doing in this weird little place? I mean, literally, it's weird. I mean, do you not see the small rules? I mean, I can't even get through with a cane.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Are you sure? You're not waiting for someone?
No.
Oh,
I'm here
okay.
escaping.
Oh, who isn't nowadays? Sure, and she'll have a seat.
Okay. And I'm going to let you roll on reaching out because that knocking of the table was definitely a reach out.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not knocking anyone's table. I mean, seriously.
Let me just review that rule real quick. Yep, so you're going to roll 1d4 minus 1.
Oh, 4.
Okay, so that's going to be a 3. So read what 3 says for your results. Should say that is a partial success. You get what you want, but things get complicated. Your isolation die ticks up by 1. So you got to connect with her, but you realize it's been a lot of years and distance between.
Yeah, no kidding.
What is Elizabeth doing?
I'm taking an empty seat at the counter. A little nervous to be back to the diner that holds so many precious memories. I needed to come to deal with the pain of losing my my one love. We used to come here all the time, sit together, order 2 milkshakes because you can't share one, with everyone not liking our kind of relationship. But we would always laugh and joke, and I have a milkshake in front of me. I haven't touched it, afraid of what the significance of drinking it would be without her. And I decide to look around to kind of keep myself from falling into despair. And I notice the man that I left for her, not saying a word to him or anything, My guilt rises up. I want to reach out, but I don't know if I should. Fear of the reaction. And then I see two females sitting together, looking like they're chatting away. And then I notice another man sitting alone, watching the breeze outside. I don't know. I turn back to the shake and try and decide whether or not I should take it in my hands or not.
Do you consider this kind of withdrawing for this night?
Um, yes.
Okay. So you neither gain nor lose tokens, which you don't have any just yet, but you will build them over subsequent nights. But your isolation die does tick down by 1. So instead of 2, it is at 1. And as I told August, if it goes down to 0, you will not be able to reach out until you get it back to 1. Well, who is going to try to leave the diner as the night wears on?
I would.
Okay.
I don't want any. I don't know if this is a dream in and of itself, coming across 3 very different people from my life. I will try and walk out the door.
When you walk to the door and try to push it open, the wind from the gales outside with the blizzard slams it closed. And the harder you push against it, the less it will budge.
Come on. Come on.
The person behind the counter says, "Now, Mr. Marsh, you should stay in. The weather's frightful out there." And has a southern accent. Definitely out of place for London.
I don't believe I gave you my name.
I know everybody that comes into my shop. Why don't you have a seat? Your next drink's on the house.
Doesn't look like I have much of a choice. Anyway. No, go sit back down in the same spot.
Okay. And it's strange. Hours pass. You know it should lighten outside with sunrise, but it doesn't. All you can see is the storm, swirling in darkness. And it seems another night has come upon us. So, Scorch, what are you doing here in America?
Uh, you wouldn't believe me if I tried to tell you. You want a rundown?
Yes, yes. And I am going to roll because I have to see if you will do it. Because I'm reaching out as it lands in my lap. Okay, that is a 2. I don't think it did. That's a partial failure. I don't get what I want, and my
I-
isolation die. So basically, you're going to be real uncomfortable telling me.
It looks like, sorry.
Oh, it's actually a
this is
1.
just-
That's going to be a complete failure.
It looks like, sorry, I apologize. It looks like there's a difference between reach out and keep going. It looks like that mechanic is for keep going,
Oh,
whereas reach out, the dice just determines how many tokens you may get.
oh,
If
that's right.
the
Thank you.
res-
I was getting it confused.
So if Saoirse deems that the interaction is positive or negative,
Mhm.
you gain, or if it's positive, you gain that many tokens. You
Minus
roll.
1. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
And if
I
he deems it
appreciate that.
negative,
I
yeah.
appreciate that clarification. Thank you.
No problem.
So it depends on if you want to actually answer or not.
Oh, so I can decide if I answer or not?
Mhm.
Okay. She will. She'll actually, well, Dad decided to let Lord take him, and Seamus is here already. So he got Mammy and I to come over. And we're in a flat. I work at the library now. It's pretty much all the work I can get. And
Here in New York?
I work at the public library. Historical records. But when you speak 5 different languages, they gotta throw you somewhere. So, being I'm upon spinsterhood, they're throwing me, my brother's throwing men at me left and right and centre, and I come here because, well, best to get away. What about you? I didn't know you lived in New York.
Yeah, they shipped me back home after the last assignment, and my parents had me all set up with this rich doctor.
Oh,
He took a job at the hospital downtown,
well,
and we moved here.
it doesn't sound too bad. It could have been worse.
No, it's
Really?
it's pretty bad.
Well, come on. What did you always tell to me? I had to look on some kind of British side or something. I mean, you remember what it was when I found Charlie, and you never remember how I was.
Yeah, I remember.
So, I mean, at least, at least you're not being called, the failure of the family thing.
No, I'm just lying to everyone.
And actually, it's a omission if you're not saying it out loud.
Still a lie.
But it sounds better.
And I am miserable.
Isn't everyone?
True. True. Yes, I had to not work anymore. Keep house and,
You can't be a nurse anymore.
no.
Oh, that's a crying shame.
And he's expecting children.
There are plenty of good ones to adopt.
That's what I try telling him.
I mean, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do any of that. Are you kidding? You shattered at everything.
Yeah.
Got more pins in my hip than I do in my hair.
That you do. I know,
This is
I was
true.
there.
Screaming and hollering and gabbling about. At least I sit on my here and I do little baby blankets and hats for the hospital because I thought, you know, I didn't know if you were here or wherever in America, and maybe you'd see a little bit of my work and you say, oh my God, she's here or something. But you know,
Let me take a look at that.
she'll hand over and it's almost a full-on baby blanket. You
And
know,
she admires your work, making comments on how beautiful the stitching is. And you're going to go ahead and roll your reaching out and see how many tokens you get.
it would be two.
2. Okay, you get 2 tokens. And go ahead and get 4 for the last one, too.
Okay.
So you have 6.
I like 6 tokens.
Sorry, hate to be that guy again.
No. I appreciate you doing that.
No, since you initiated the action, those are your tokens. She just decides whether it was positive or negative, determine if it's plus tokens or minus
Yeah, but then she
tokens.
was doing it with me.
Okay.
When she asked, what about you?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, it definitely is positive.
Okay, so whoever else is doing something while these ladies are chatting and looking at crochet.
I think I'm gonna get up since the chattering is happening right behind me, and I'm going to go over to the bar, sit down on a free stool, order a sandwich, and then just kind of look in either direction. And I will turn to August 1st. Rough night. It's a good thing you're in here. And I'll turn to Elizabeth. That any good? He tends to make them thick. A little too sweet for my taste. I'm going to try to reach out to either one.
Clicked a different button this time. Well, I mean, clearly we can't go anywhere else, so fortunate, I guess, not to be out there, but feels like we're trapped. And I'm not really sure where here is.
So I'm not a fan of snow. You know, I'm a lowland boy naturally, but here in the highlands, I don't like it. It's everywhere. Covers everything. Gets in your shoes, your socks get all wet and cold. Don't get me wrong, I like winter, sure, but snow is terrible.
Has a way of playing tricks on you.
Not familiar with that angle of snow. I guess we both lead different lives.
Yeah. I apologize. I'm August Marsh.
Oh, Edmund Cunningham. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Um, what what brings you here?
Oh, this is what I would call a sanctum sanctorum of sorts. Get my thoughts in order. Sometimes when he's not looking, I sneak a little bit of the old dog. You want a taste?
No, I quit the stuff.
Oh, why would you go and do a thing like that?
I'm my normal cheery self. Why would I need to add to it?
You've been blessed then.
Yep. To, should I know who you are?
No, why should I know who you are?
I'd have no reason to think so, but you're gonna think me crazy. But you look so damn familiar.
I'd say I have one of those faces, but I'm not that handsome.
We're in a strange predicament as it is. Might not sound a little crazier. Without fail, once a year around the same time, probably I think the same day actually every year, I have these dreams. This dream, and for the life of me, you look like someone in that dream.
What
So
happens in this dream of yours?
It's nothing too crazy. Maybe it is. I mean, you're standing right in front of me.
As long as I'm not trying to kill you, that would put a damper on
the
our friendship.
opposite. The opposite. It's.
Are you trying to kill me?
No. I don't need to get into that. You would have no idea if I was trying to kill you. But that's my time from my time in the war.
Oh, you were a soldier as well?
Yeah.
Royal Air Force.
Everywhere. Wherever they needed people. But no, this dream is pretty quick. You'd be right in front of me, like we just finished a conversation, and then it's like you got pulled away, like looking through the other end of a magnifying glass or a telescope.
Is this like sorcery, or was I being manhandled by people?
No, just you were there and then you weren't.
Oh, no, that is strange. That is awfully strange.
I'm usually not one to pay mind to coincidences, but some weird shit is going on, and I feel like I'm either going crazy or I'm dead, and this is some purgatory. I'm being judged right now.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think we're in purgatory because this is still tasting really good to me.
I guess that's a relief.
Unless we're in a special kind of purgatory, in which case then.
Well, you seem to be faring better than I am right now.
Given that, then I think I'll leave you to it. Then I won't interrupt you anymore. Then take up any more of your time.
Okay, pleasure, Edmund.
August, and I'll take my sandwich and go to a different booth.
And you can roll your reaching out and see how many tokens you get.
Was this positive or negative for you, August? Because I rolled 3.
All things considered, I'd say it was more on the positive side than the negative side if I had to try and balance it, but barely.
Okay, noted.
All right, so next up is Elizabeth.
I I pull my milkshake towards me. I turn towards Argus and I try and talk to him. August,
Yes.
how have you been?
Great. I've been great. Glad to know you're still around, I guess.
Yeah, I am. Uh, I didn't want to leave things like that.
No, you just wanted to leave.
I should have told you, but I didn't know how you would react.
No note, nothing.
It's not easy for either one of us, but especially not with how people perceive relationships that I like to pursue. I shouldn't have used you like that, and I'm sorry.
I'm. You know how shitty it feels to know that I'm not even mad that you fell in love with someone else. You have you have no idea what I've been through, what I've seen, what I've done. No idea. And when the one thing that kept me going is gone without a trace, there are days that I wish I didn't come back. It's the not knowing that was the worst part. The absence was the worst part. And that's all that's left of me, an absence. Questions. I don't know what's happened to you over this time. I don't know what's happened to me all over this time. I'm not the person you knew before I left. And maybe that's for the best. I'm not. And I don't even want you to feel guilty about it. Because it'd be hypocritical of me to ask you to feel something when I feel nothing. So if something's happened to you over this time, I'm sorry. I really am. But that's the last drop of me that I'm able to give is that apology.
You shouldn't have to, though.
a lot of things we shouldn't have to do that we're forced to do. And I'm glad whoever this person was that made it worth disappearing for, I hope you were able to find something with them that made it worth it, even if it was for a short time, Elizabeth. You don't feel like you have to say anything. I'm not trying to make you feel any sort of way. I never thought I was going to see you again.
I wasn't expecting to see you here tonight either.
Life's a son of a bitch, isn't it? Has a way of taking our faults and shoving it back in our faces, doesn't it? Looks like we might be here a while. I will do my best to be civil. For whatever it's worth.
Sorry.
Well, that's something. Thank you.
And what does Elizabeth do now?
Uh, well, I will just sit back in my chair.
August, do you feel that was a positive interaction with her reaching out to you?
Fuck no.
No hesitation whatsoever. Cold blooded.
Ah. Well, Elizabeth, I believe you have no tokens right now, correct? So, as you have none, it doesn't serve you any purpose to actually roll your D4 because you cannot have negative tokens. So, that's okay. But in the case of an unpleasant interaction with reaching out and you have tokens, you would roll to see how many you would lose. Okay. All right. So, is anybody going to try to check the door this night? No? Okay. The lights go out. And it is pitch black. Seems that the whole block has lost power. You hear the wind wailing outside and the snow and ice pelting the windows of the diner. The storm is raging. Hours pass in the dark. Next thing you know, the lights come back on. And here's where we're going to go to break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everyone. And welcome back, everyone. We are resuming for the next night. But as the lights come up in this diner, Sorsha is having a panic attack. Francis is trying to calm her about halfway to the door. Scorch, calm down, breathe. It's okay.
It's like we've been down again.
It's just a storm. It's just a storm.
I've been through many. It is like we're back in France.
I understand. Breathe.
Water.
Just
Can we go over to the counter
Yeah.
and get some water?
Do you just want water or do you want some tea?
Use a fucking bourbon or something right now, but
I'll see what they have.
wait. No, that's not him, is it? It's not Augie, is there? Oh, guy over at the bar.
I don't know him.
She'll try not. I'm not going to blow everyone's ears out because that would be rude.
Oi,
The
Augie.
Irish in her is kicking in there, and she's gonna go, "Oi, Augie Marsh!" She's gonna yell right there in the diner.
Yes.
Hi. You're not standing in attention, are you?
I'll go get your water.
She's just gently
Ms.
teasing him.
Ms. Cunningham, Ms. O'Connell.
Oh, you forgot my name already. And she'll walk. You'll see her with the cane, and she'll walk over to you, and she'll offer her hand.
I just take it in both, kind of pull her in gently, knowing she has a cane, and embrace.
She'll give him a hug. What the hell you doing here, Augie?
I think here is maybe different for all of us, Ms. O'Connell.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You called me Scotch for how many years? Just because I got a cane and
Respecting my elders. And then I give a coy smile back.
she'll just gently take her cane and just tap it on her shoulder. Now stop it. Wow, that is mean. I was always nice to you. Thought you got your extra stuff too at dinner.
I kind of gesture her to sit next to me. I kind of swivel around.
You're gonna have to give me a moment.
Oh, you're fine.
That's my friend over there, Fran. She's what is she now? I forgot. Well, I called her Fran. Her name's Frances. She used to be a nurse.
I just kind of.
She nods
Come on
and
over,
waves.
Fran.
She grabs the glass of water and she also has a cup of tea and bourbon. Here you go. And she sits down. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's mine.
Francis Wilson.
August Marsh.
I call him Augie because we used to be in the war together.
Oh,
thrown in. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mean to make light, but I'm a little surprised at your reaction. You usually were the toughest son of a bitch. We've been in a lot worse than this stuff.
After you and I parted ways, I was sent in. Got sent into Berlin, and that got really dark.
Yeah, subterfuge was never my specialty, but
yeah, well, when you can throw a wee bit of a mission here and there, people don't mind because they want to believe what they're going to believe.
Yeah.
So, what you doing? We're not in the war anymore. I don't have a mission report for you, and I'm not ordering you about.
It's a good question. I wish I had a good answer for.
Well, you're
I've
alive.
I'm alive. Yes. Don't know what. I've been a little aimless. Never thought I'd miss the war, but it gave me purpose that I seem to be lacking.
Well, I know that they're offering some positions over at the library. I might, the public one. I do translations and everything. I could use somebody to help. And it's good, steady work. It's a lot of paper pushing at times. I promise no brick walls are going to fall on you.
You mean a library in America, right?
I mean, a librarian. You get
Yeah,
paid.
downtown New York.
Like I said, I think we're all.
Where are you at?
Well, when I walked into a London diner.
Ooh.
What?
You're right. Wait, I still have connections over there in London. I can pull if you need it. Not a problem.
I don't think you're hearing me. You walked into a diner in America.
Aye.
I was
heard
in
ya.
London. I was in London. Or I am in London. Who the hell knows where I am? This diner isn't where any of us walked in from.
She looks at the missing bourbon in her glass, going, "I need something stronger now."
Yeah.
What? How the hell?
I'm gonna need the bottle. Guy hands her the bottle. She pours some in your cup, and then she just turns it back.
Fuck it. We need a case.
I look at the guy. I'm like, please tell me. I mean, you and I just spoke a little bit ago. I'm asking the guy behind the counter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, correct? Maybe I am. I don't know.
You are where you need to be.
Cryptic. Lovely.
Well, okay.
What the
this
hell
is
does that
somehow-
mean?
Oh, did you not read that? You remember when you gave me all those books when I was recovering
Yeah,
because I couldn't move?
yeah.
And I found some science fiction books. Maybe we're in a science fiction novel.
Well, that
One of
is
those
one way
twisted
to
tummy
escape
things.
my misery.
I mean, wait a minute. If we're all here at the same time and we might be over like some one of those like science fiction teleportation telecommunication devices, I can give you the information I have for people you can contact in London, and we can actually work a connection of like of things to brighten your mood and get some money in your pockets. What you think?
Maybe.
Oh, come on, Augie. You always have to worry to smile in the whole company. Can't you smile a little less? Just once. Just a wee bit. Crack a little bit of an ear. For old time's sake.
I've started to wonder what brought about that smile more and more. Wondering if, all the killing was what did it.
I don't think it was. You know what I thought it was? You protecting all those people that needed it, and you were the big brother that you always wanted to be for everyone else. And you were smiling because you knew that all those people were counting on you to be the big person and be able to help them. Remember? Remember that wee little teddy bear I gave you? And you called it Little John, and you kept on going?
Okay, we don't need to reveal all of my secrets to everyone in this diner here.
Oh, I didn't tell them about the big plushy heart we all got together and sewed for you. Oh, I said that out loud in my outside voice. Damn.
With that, I will excuse myself. Mr. Marsh, it was a pleasure, and she takes your hand again.
Yeah, I will. I don't think this will be our last interaction, Ms. Wilson.
It probably won't. It's a small place.
And who knows how long we're going to be here.
Exactly. She takes the
Absolutely.
bottle of bourbon with her.
I like your style. I've quit the stuff, but I like your style.
What kind of woman does that? It takes the damn thing away from me. Fuck. Swear to God. It's like she knows I'm on pain pills or something and it can't make some all. Shh, don't tell her I said that.
I heard that.
You're not my acting physician. She's not my acting physician, Augie, honestly.
As she walks by a booth with a man with a ginger beard, she's been noticing that he seems to hit a flask, and she looks and says, "Need a refill?"
No loss. I appreciate it though. This is homegrown.
Oh, a Scotsman.
One of the perks of being a distiller.
Mm.
You get to take a little bit off the top.
Indeed, indeed. Your eyes, they look familiar to me.
I get that sometimes. I've been told I have kind eyes. I don't know where they get it from.
Are you a Cunningham?
Aye, Edmund.
Oh my gosh, Eddie.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
It's me, Franny.
Francis Miller.
Well, Wilson now,
Oh, they got you.
unfortunately. Mind if I have a seat?
No, please.
All right.
Please have a seat.
All right. So, what are you doing here?
Well, I was in Speyside, but apparently I'm now in New York or in London or somewhere else entirely. So wherever the diner takes me, I think I'm going to figure out my life.
Ah, yeah. Myself and my friend Sorsha were in New York. Mr. Marsh there that I just met, he was in London.
August, good man.
Really?
He
He
little
seems
bit
it.
weird on the dreams.
Really?
Claims to keep seeing me in his dreams, even though we've never met, and I have no recollection of the man.
Huh. Goodness.
Been a while though.
Yeah.
You know, Sarah passed.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
The war took her.
Oh. I'm
We
very
heard about
sorry,
you.
Eddie.
No, it's fine. Life takes and takes, and you know, we keep praising so that it stops, and it never does. So, are you well?
Well cared for.
That's good.
You
at
see a
least.
very large rock on her hand. Married a doctor.
Oh, so it's true what they say.
What's that?
Big wallets, small penises.
It wouldn't matter what size it is. I didn't want it. It was forced. My parents found him while I was serving as a nurse in the war. I came home to pretty much an arranged marriage.
It takes the fun out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't hit you, or he's not mean to you in any way, is he?
No, he doesn't hit me.
Good.
She explicitly doesn't say he's not mean. But he works nights, and I tend to take the subway and go to a little diner opposite end of town.
All by yourself in the tube.
Yeah.
Sarah would have gotten a kick out of that.
Oh, between Sarah and I was always the one that had more bravery than sense at times.
Oh yeah, she was always a follower. Of course. She would have followed you to the gates of hell, that one.
Oh, I'm really sorry about your loss with her. She was wonderful.
Yeah, it was worse for our father.
Oh,
Old man didn't take it too well. Had some choice words to say about it, but he was always cut from a different cloth.
yeah. And your mom?
Long past, just after our trip.
Really?
Yeah.
She reaches out and takes your hand. I'm really sorry, Eddie.
Yeah, we were hard for a bit there. Uh, it hit Sarah hardest, I think. But we make do. I joined military. Had to get out of there, and
Oh, did you serve in the war?
yep, Royal Air Force for the king and country. All the good that did.
Yeah. Well, at least we run, right? Of course, we took plenty of losses.
Yeah, we did.
I'd never seen so much death in my life. Trying to save all I could and couldn't save them all.
Can't imagine what it must have been like for you because you were up front.
Well,
I had
as front as they would let us.
I had a much different view.
Yeah.
From up there, I felt like God looking down on his creation and seeing it all run amok.
Yeah. Some of the things I saw haunt my dreams. But I still loved it. The times I could help somebody, whether it's easing their pain or easing their mind and bringing them a little bit of joy.
I saw fields of men strewn about like forgotten dolls.
Yeah.
Don't have that you have.
But I came home, had to marry a doctor, and then I became a housewife.
The curse of it all, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. So I have a maid that does all the chores around the house, and I just sit around and have to be pretty.
An easier job than mine, I tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no fun being somebody's trophy.
I'm gonna pull my hand away at this point. Sometimes I wonder if it might have been better if Sarah had come back instead of me.
Now, why would you say that?
She was the favorite. You know, I was always never really part of the family. I think my parents drove that point home early on, and then they kept driving it home, especially the old man. Oh, he loved to drive that car home.
Well, I will say Sarah loved her big brother more than anything in the world. I only knew her one summer, and I could tell that. She practically worshipped the ground you walked on.
He was a light, to be sure, in the darkness.
And I saw her as a good judge of character.
Sarah, then.
To Sarah. And she takes a swig of the bottle of bourbon. Do you feel that that was a positive interaction or negative?
Ooh. I feel like it was definitely positive between you and me. I think it was negative for him.
Okay.
But I think overall, I'm leaning more positive.
Okay. Well, I got one token. All right. Who's going next? I think it's Elizabeth. Or Augie can do something. Yep.
I would say, did we need to do any rolls from that interaction between
You
Saoirse
can.
and August?
You can. Who? I think it was Saoirse that initiated.
Yeah.
So Saoirse.
I'd say that was very positive.
Okay. So roll to see how many tokens.
Okay. That's 3.
Nice.
I'm still thinking, so if Elizabeth has something in mind, go ahead.
I think she's gonna get up from the counter and maybe make her way over to Edmund and then see if she can't join.
Oh, would you like to have a seat? And Francis scoots over and makes room for you.
Thank you.
Of course. Want a drink?
Oh, no, I'm good.
The bourbon's already starting to make her feel real warm and fuzzy at this point. Yeah. She doesn't drink much.
I'm still nursing the milkshake I have here.
Okay. By the way, I'm Francis Wilson, and you are?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Williams.
Oh, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Williams.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
This is Edmund Cunningham.
Hello.
Very same.
Yeah. So how long do y'all think we're gonna be stuck here?
Who's to say? What flavor is the milkshake? Is it visible? Like, is it pink, like strawberry? Is it brown for chocolate?
It's strawberry.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
they chop up actual strawberries and throw them into the milkshake. That's why they're so thick.
Yeah. I'd get the strawberry and Mia would get the chocolate.
Who's Mia?
She was my lover.
Oh, well, that's very forward of you.
Yeah. Not really good for these times.
Mm.
You're safe here. She's married, and I have no desire of being incarcerated in that way.
That is one way to put it, Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, Elizabeth. And
Yeah, I didn't want to sit alone anymore.
it's okay.
Yeah, where's Mia now, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, Unfortunately, some people who did not like our relationship got a hold of her.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to therapy to deal with it. It's actually why I ended up in the diner in the first place.
Really?
Yeah, I've been avoiding this place since her passing. So
Oh.
I would too, I think.
Francis places a hand on Elizabeth's shoulder. It says, "That was very brave of you, Elizabeth."
You sure you don't want a drink that
no,
isn't filled with strawberries?
And sugar.
no, I think that would only intensify the pain.
I understand. But
Sure.
no,
Sure.
it's good. I thought I saw you talking with Mr. Marsh.
Yeah, I kind of ghosted him for Mia.
Oh,
I didn't want I didn't
I understand.
want that to happen.
The heart wants was the heart wants, as they say.
If I,
I take
oh please.
it he didn't take it that well, given the tone of voice. It's a small place.
No, not too well.
Do you go by Liz, Liza, Beth,
Uh, Mia used to call me Liz.
Liz? Mia would be proud of you coming back here. Know that although your time may have been short with her, that time was a gift. We are never promised forever or tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can take solace in knowing that, given everything, the only thing that we can be sure of is that everything ends at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what we do before it ends is what really is important. And you were brave, Liz. You followed your heart. Wish I could have done the same. And she looks out the window. I say this was a positive interaction because we got to get to know Elizabeth a bit. Roll your D4 to see how many tokens you get.
1.
Okay, so add a token to your tracking. You now have 1 token. Is August going to do anything?
Trying to pay less mind to the conversation being had adjacent to him, but still grateful for being in some good company with Sersha. He's just going to sit there and enjoy her presence, pull out his sketchbook, and just start doodling, but not this time it's a different image. He's not sure what it quite is yet, but he gets started on something different.
So is this more like a daydream?
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe you get a token for that. Excellent. Well, as our Nighthawks have congregated in different groups this night, realizing they are not where they thought they were, but maybe they are exactly where they need to be. All of a sudden, the storm outside stops, and then it starts, but the winds are shifting in a different direction. The next night starts. And Francis's husband walks in the door. He looks around. He seems furious. He sees Francis and walks straight to the table and says, "Francis, what are you doing here?" "Oh, hello." She's drunk. "I'm enjoying my evening."
We'll slide down so that he can have the option of joining us in the booth.
He looks at you. "Come on, Francis, let's go home." She looks out the window for a second. Looks at her husband and then looks right past him to Sorsha. "Nah." She takes her rings off and throws them at him. "Go find yourself another trophy. I'm done. You will never belittle me again. You will never insult my intelligence again. And you will never take me against my will again." And he starts rambling about she's his wife and she must obey. He balls up his fists.
Punch him.
You punch him?
I get up and I punch him.
Okay, roll a d4. Let's see if you're successful.
If Edmund gets up, Sorsha's getting up, and she's gonna undo her cane and pull out. What is a cane sword?
That is a 1, so no.
You go to punch him. You literally lunge up from the seat, but all that alcohol you've been pouring into your body for so many nights now makes you sluggish, and he just twists right out of the way.
Okay, you got my back.
I'm sitting there and saying, if you need it, but I'm not too worried.
Oh, I'm not worried either.
I just kind of sit back, cross my arms, wait to watch the show.
And he and her husband looks at you, Edmund, and says, "What on earth? She is my wife."
I don't like your tone. Get out.
So what does Sorsha
Make her
do?
your property.
It's right over. You need to leave. Now.
He looks at you and looks at the sword. Looks at Francis. picks up the rings where they fell on the floor. Don't bother coming home. And she just says, I won't. And he leaves out the door.
I'll
Sorry.
just turn around and give a thumbs up, doggy.
Sorry, everyone. That was Dr. Wilson.
I want to see if this works. Shit.
Are you okay?
I've never been better.
I'm assuming by the interaction he wasn't very pleasant.
Just thought he owned me. Hey, Eddie, you knew me for a summer as a kid. Was I ever going to be tamed like that?
No,
Thank you for trying to come to my defense, though.
neither would Sarah. So that's for her.
And thank you, Sorsha.
It's nothing, you know it. And she'll just try to get back and go to sit down again because standing hurts. That's okay. Augie was going to jump in if he needed to. He told me he didn't need to.
Of course he does, since you're a firecracker. And actually, with all the hubbub, Francis looks over at Elizabeth and says, do you mind? I'm going to go sit with my friend for a little bit.
Oh yeah. I get up to let Francis out.
And she goes and sits with Scorch.
I'm next to Augie, so it's all three of us in a bar. Or at least in a line.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing something.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh, for being willing to assist if needed.
I was not too worried one way or the other.
What slipped and failed? You're going to have to do something to get my back now, don't you?
I mean, I would have, but it would have. I've seen you take down bigger men. I've seen you take down faster men. I've seen you take down tougher men. He was none of those.
You see me take down the Imperial. That's all you ever had to really say. I mean, they had a scoreboard.
My point being, he was no competition.
I know, but come on, it was a little bit of a thing of get you back into your gears and such.
My seat is nice and warm. Is that official command there?
This. Come on. It's more action than I've gotten since we got here. It's more action I've gotten since the war. I mean,
you
kind of bleak.
You don't get in fights daily at the library?
Sadly enough, the books do not try to fight me, which I'm very upset, insulted, and sometimes really taken back by. Hey, at least your mammy isn't telling you you're a disappointment, that you're bringing down the family name, and because I am a burden to her and me brother, because I haven't gotten the whole hitch thing, I'm just wasting money in their pocketbooks.
Don't let anyone tell you you're a waste.
Well, Americans aren't as nice as they were back when they were visiting us. So it's been 2 years of getting it right in a year. To the point I crochet in a quiet little... I managed to squeeze myself into a wee bit of a corner so they can't find me. You remember how good I was at hiding? Lo and behold, it's something far more than I ever thought possible. I may or may not have rewired some of the PA systems so I can hear what they're talking about in the background. Call me a burn book.
Frances opens up her purse and takes out a cigarette case, puts one in her mouth and lights it. Takes a drag, blows out the smoke and says, fuck 'em.
I would, but I don't do charity.
God, I've missed you.
I'm sorry, but if they are many years older than me, then they are not going on the social ride at all. Because when
Man,
you
if,
do,
if they're older than you, man, I don't blame you.
I mean, we're talking about women that are like, you're lucky if they see their ankles because their hemlines are so long. I've actually gotten a part of their accent down too. They keep wanting to hear pitter patters of small feet, so I've turned around and created a little wheel that I run around at times so they can do it. And then they
Maybe
actually
I'm
think,
like I just mumbled. I mumbled to myself. Maybe I'm in hell. This must be hell. Maybe I'm actually.
why are you in hell? I don't want. Why are you saying that for?
Just very quietly to myself, like just very facetiously.
All
Hey.
right. So, Sorsha,
Got me
you
to
can go
smile at
ahead
them.
and roll your initiation of reaching out, and we're going to let Edmund and Elizabeth have a scene.
Great. Well, that was crazy.
A little bit, sure. Are you going to be all right here with your milkshake?
Yes.
I've taken to enjoying my time here on the floor. I think life would be so much simpler if everyone sat on the floor a couple of times a day. Just thought about things from down here, get a different perspective, I think. And he is just kind of scooting himself back against any booth near him. And given the interaction that happened with Francis, her husband, the chat about Sarah, he's going to just stare down into the flask in his hands for a very long time, withdrawing into his sadness a little bit, his nostalgia at that one summer, and also just trying to figure out whether this is something that can be a help, or if, like August says, this is more trouble than it's worth.
All right. So your isolation die is reduced by 1 for withdrawing. I would give a slight hint to Elizabeth. There is a way she's trying to heal her own hurt that may come in handy with someone that has just withdrawn right in front of her.
um, I'll leave the milkshake on the table, and I'll get down next to Edmund and reach out for the flask.
You can take it. He's not holding onto it very tightly.
She'll hold it up to her face and get a whiff of it and be reminded of her grandfather calling any kind of alcohol skunk juice. You know, Edmund, I think you shouldn't be with withdrawing into yourself. Trust me, it's not good for you. It led me down a dark path. And then she'll hand the flask back to him.
He just takes it. How long were you with Mia, if I may ask?
Hmm, about a year.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Actually, the the day she was killed was actually right the the day before our anniversary.
What is love like to you, I wonder? If someone asked, what is love like to you? How would you answer?
Uh, it's like a warmth that you don't want to go away. You try anything to keep it, even if by making them smile, laugh.
So, yeah, this is love. That's my warm feeling right there.
I I started therapy because of how low I sank after. I I tried to join Mia, but just as I was about to, I remembered that she always said that we should try and live life to the fullest, no matter how much pain and suffering we go through.
So she was a cheery person, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Must be nice. Is the therapy helping?
Yeah. Because I was able to come back here.
Good. Good. And with that, he is going to crawl underneath the table and just bundle himself up.
I'm gonna sleep on the floor.
No, no. Just easier to not be bothered in here.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a d4, Elizabeth. And Edmund, will you say if it was positive or negative?
For horror, it was definitely positive.
It's just he's in a bad place right now.
He is in a bad place.
So go ahead and roll your d4, Elizabeth, and that's how many tokens you get.
3.
3. Excellent.
Yeah.
So now you're up to
Yeah,
4.
she never wavered.
Yeah.
So that's definitely good for her.
Yeah. Frances takes off her hat, fidgets with it while Sorsha and August are having their conversation. Hey, Scorch.
Hey,
You okay?
pain's getting to me. I'll be fine. Just
Would you rather sit in a booth that's more comfortable?
no matter where if I sit or stand. I should lay down soon, but trying to keep everything going, you can't rest, That adrenaline thing that you always telling me about, the chemicals in your head that keep things going.
Yeah.
Eh. Think I might actually have to do a bit of coffee. It
And with that, the guy behind the counter drops a cup of coffee in front of you.
so take a sip.
Mhm.
What's the matter? What's up?
I took my pay at discharge
Hey.
and invested it.
Ooh, would you do it?
I don't need a doctor husband to be well off enough to take care of myself.
Oh, you're gonna be a grand lady all on your own, eh? That'd be a good thing.
What do you say when we can get out of here, we go look for an apartment? Get you the hell out of your freaking house?
What are we doing with my mommy? I mean, don't. I mean, only reason why I'm with her is because of the whole, and Seamus lives on what she kind of looks between Fran and Augie, like, what do they call those places outside of the city that the little, it's not a village, but it's kind of like a town. It's
Subdivision?
one of those.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, I don't understand half of what the Americans say.
Yeah. The suburbs.
Yeah, he's got a car, and I think they just had another kid. I don't know. They keep rambling. I kind of zone them out. I pretend like we're all just, hanging and waiting for the next kind of run. I've it in my head a
Scorch.
lot.
Sorsha, you're rambling.
Yeah. Have either one of you known me not to?
I'm sorry I had to leave.
We all had to go. We all had different missions. You don't have to apologize. It's okay. Half of what was going on. I mean, hell, you left and I had just come back out of another surgery and you were gone, and I understood totally. So, I mean, I made you something too. Pity I don't have it here. I made you a nice, not. It's kind of nice. I made you like a wee stack of shawls, so
Oh,
I made him some lap rugs. Now I can actually chuck them at him. Give me your address, Huggy. Have you swimming in lap rugs before you know it. His face is just going, oh, sweet Jesus, what is she doing now? Sorry. You can give away if you want. So when I get sad and lonely, I remember the past, and I'm not assimilating like I should. I'm being a horrible American.
I can help with that. Or fuck it, we can move to Ireland.
We could all get together and do a thing. You bring your wee ginger over there. I don't know the other lady, but do a whole group action. You don't mind, do you? Okay, I'm roping you into things again. I'm sorry. I should ask before I do things, right?
He doesn't respond, or I don't respond.
Okay, you okay?
He just kind of lost in. I'm just kind of lost in the sketch pad.
Well, I'd love to move in with you. Are you sure you want me to be moving in? And she just told it's for sure, but he fell for it. I'm actually worse off, but it's okay.
Saoirse,
What?
I've wanted nothing more for years.
To be my nurse? That's a bit crazy. Really?
No,
I'm a horrible.
not your nurse.
I'm a horrible patient, you know it.
She literally leans in and kisses you to shut you up.
Well, that's a mood. There's your no square, okay? Happy? What, for a year and a half now? Goddamn.
And with that, do you think I should get tokens or not?
Yeah, you should roll.
Okay. Ooh, that's 4. All right. So who is left to do something for the night? I know Augie. Yep. Okay. I thought you were daydreaming with the sketch pad.
I thought that was the last thing from the previous
that's
night.
right. That was my bad.
You're good. You're good.
Things are overlapping.
Having seen that and knowing that his former love left with another woman, he just kind of slams his hand on the table. How am I supposed to keep going? Huh? You all you talk and talk about how we can move on and do all this stuff. The things you've lost. It's not fair. It isn't fair for you to be in this place with someone you love and just have it be okay. How do you to have someone who was your whole world say now that I was just a speck of sand in theirs? How do I keep going? You talk about these plans. You have someone. She had someone. You talk. There's talk. What is love to you? What is love to you? It's trust. How am I supposed to trust ever again? How do I keep going? Anyone? Anyone here? Tell me. What am I supposed to do?
You put one foot in front of the other, soldier, and keep moving.
Okay.
I'm tired. My feet hurt.
May I say something?
Yeah.
Can I have your hand first? Please.
It's at his side, but he won't pull away if you take it.
She'll take it.
I won't stop her.
You remember when we are getting pelted down? Do you remember how much I screamed when I found out about Charlie passing right in my arms? They had to pull me and pry me off. You don't think I'm not dying inside? You're fucking lying to yourself on that one. Look, I've always been happy and I've been trying to be joyful to show everyone else it's possible to somehow feel some kind of happiness or be laughing or something, even though you're dwelling and drowning inside. You don't think I don't cry myself to sleep every fucking night? Yeah, out of your damn mind. But I'm awake. I'm alive. More so than those damn bastards in the war. And if I'm alive, I've got to make something of myself, don't I? You're my friend. I have always trusted you. I've trusted you with my life more times than not. I know no matter what, if I get in any kind of scrap, Augie March is going to be right there. I have believed and trusted in you since we've known each other.
Oh, believe it or not, I was all the shit, everything we went through in the war. I was never really scared.
I'm scared for my damn life.
I'm scared now.
Why? Why are you scared?
I've lost my bearings.
Then are you going to let a friend help you get him back? Please? Can I have a hug? She'll pull him into a big-ass hug. All right, now, teddy bear, let it out, and she'll pat his back gently. Come on. I got you.
I'd return it.
See, you're not forgotten. And you can trust a couple of people here. And we trust you too. Okay? So we'll fly out to London and take you out to a proper bar crawl. How's that? She can see the famous March smile at some point.
And the nice
look at
thing
you
is you'll
again.
have a nurse on hand to make sure
Well,
you're
she's-
okay.
When she's not pissed on her safe.
Hey, I quit the stuff. Seeing how you two pull it back, I might be the one that has to make sure you're both okay.
Hey, I'm on pain meds. That stuff makes me loopy as fuck after the first round. So, I mean, between
Is that
her
your
and you...
excuse?
No, my excuse is I need to turn around and live life, right? Okay. You're one of my best friends. We got you, okay? I mean, hell, you got the ginger over there that's got the stuff flowing somewhere underneath the table, apparently. I think he's trying to drink us underneath the table, and I think that's a challenge. I didn't say alcohol. We could drink water or whatever, but we could drink them underneath the table. Come on, do it over.
I have a head start.
Of course you do. You got a personal flask there, you wee bastard. What'd you say, Augie? You're gonna have to help me get down on the onto the floor because I can't cross my legs anymore. And I got a nurse here to make sure that you do it proper too.
We don't need to get on the floor.
Oh, but you got to come underneath the table.
Maybe it might be easier if he comes out from under the come out from under the table. I'm having, a personal revelation. Maybe we can, bring that around.
Guess what? I have a calendar in my pocket and I could turn around. We can list off everyone's birthdays so that I know where to send cards to. And you guys give me all your addresses.
Eddie, yours is in July, right?
Oh, what date?
Yeah, I was told I was born on the 28th.
28th of July. Gotcha.
Yeah, we always celebrated on the 24th, though.
That seems a little...
Right.
What?
No, we're not fucking with you at all.
Fucking with me.
Nobody's fucking with you. Stop thinking it's about you.
You're
Wait,
not my
what?
type.
I mean, damn.
I mean, since
Look.
there's no secrets here, everyone knows that I had dreams about him, and without fail, every 28th of July, his fucking face is in my head. Explain that.
That's too creepy for me to come out now. I'm staying here where it's safe.
Oh, get out of here, wee Scotsman. Or do an Irish lass have to get
She
you
looks
out?
at August's eyes. And then she looks over to the drunk under the table. Hey, Eddie, you related to this guy?
No, I have a sister. That's it.
You sure?
Yeah, I was adopted. That's about it.
Well, then you could be related to him.
Because y'all's eyes are the damn same.
No, he doesn't even sound like me.
Oh, for
He's
fuck's
from
sake.
London. Of course he doesn't sound like you.
Wow. Geography and...
What are you worrying out?
Augie, did you know anyone that had to give up a kid and put them into adoption?
I knew my parents wanted another kid, or at least that's what they told me. But mother was with child, and then that she wasn't one day. Never really got an explanation.
Hey, Scotsman, where were you born?
I don't know exactly where I was born, but I grew up down in the lowlands of Scotland by Castle. As soon as I find it in my notes, Castle Douglas.
Any relation to where you were, Augie?
I mean, as far as Scotland goes, I guess, but
It's on the border, not far from.
It is
England.
possible. Adoption.
the fuck is going on?
That will get me to crawl out.
Okay, now you got two to stand together so we can look at your eyes.
Get over here, Eddie.
Come on, you wee drunk bastard.
Oh my God! You free yourself from one marriage. Now you're ordering all the men around.
Hey, I'm ordering you too. I was a former SOE officer.
All
So
right,
get your wee ass
Scotsman.
over.
Sorry, sir.
It's Mom.
Of course it is.
And as they stand together, there is definitely a resemblance.
Holy fuck. This is crazy. Augie, I think you got a cousin or a brother or something in this one.
Oh, that close of a resemblance, that's definitely sibling. I saw
It sounds like
I saw a lot of brothers in the war.
Very, very sarcastically. What do you say, bro? I probably wouldn't have said that back then. Brother?
Oh,
How do you?
yeah.
What does that make you feel?
I mean, as long as I get the bottom bunk, I don't really care.
Augie was usually the top book anyhow.
Oh, he looks like a top, sure.
I put money on it.
How much?
How much? Since you're close enough to home, I'd say 50 quid.
It's a high stakes.
Okay, 100 quid.
That's too high. I was hoping for like 10.
Okay, 20 quid. How's that? Better?
No, you're too rich for my blood.
Okay, fine. A fiver.
All right, I can do 5.
All right. So, Augie?
I stopped listening. What's going on?
Are you a top bunk or a bottom bunk?
I've slept in pig shit. I've slept in way worse. I don't care. A mattress with a pillow is fine.
Told you a top bunk. Take the fiver.
I take it and put it in my pocket.
You
Are we
want to
sleeping
know
in the
how
same
you move.
bed now?
You wanted to know how you move on. She looks at the guy behind the bar. He said, "We are where we need to be." Liz over there came here to recognize that she needed some closure and needed to give some closure. Augie, you needed closure, and she gave it to you. And now you have someone new to get to know. Someone you've supposedly been dreaming of this whole time for years. Like you were destined to eventually meet your brother. Eddie, you've lost so much. Lost the only family you thought you knew. But look at what you've gained. An old friend and a brother. Sorsha, you walked into a diner and ran across the girl that broke your heart. And found out she had done nothing but think of you ever since y'all parted. And Francis was a emotionally abused trophy wife. Stuck living in the past in her head because that was the only reprieve she could get from her misery. And then she found the girl she'd been thinking of for years. And being the go-getter that she's always been since childhood, as Eddie can attest, she went for it. And damn if it didn't work out. Five lonely people walked into a diner and a storm started raging. The storm outside stops, and it is a peaceful night, stars shining. The guy behind the counter says, "I hope you enjoyed your time at my diner." And the door opens by itself. We walk out and are back in our respective cities. And that is the end of Nighthawks. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this amazing little indie TTRPG. Loved this game. I can so see doing this with different settings, different time periods. Oh my gosh, this is a great system. Woo! Oh, thank you for the bits. Great Cthulhu. Great Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
We love you. Thank you so much. Please join us on Discord. I cast this game from our community on Discord. You forgot the exclamation point, dear. There you go. Shanky is being tech guru behind the scenes. So join us there. We post casting calls for games fairly routinely, and we cast right from our community. We have a rotating cast for each game. It all depends on who's running the game or who's posted the casting call as to who they pick to play with them. And we really do try to shake it up and add some people like Vampire Brat here that's playing Elizabeth that has never streamed with us before, but I am so proud of you. You brought the freaking feels, girl. You did so well. And seriously, though, join us there. If you want to check back content, this stream will be posted up on our YouTube channel. You can check out our YouTube channel, check out all the streams that we have done at McStabber Studios. And if you are interested in Call of Cthulhu or D&D, you can check out the Ishbel YouTube. That is our amazing European, I can't say London anymore because she moved, European GM Dr. Tiss runs D&D. Well, she used to run D&D. That campaign is finished, and now she's running Call of Cthulhu 7E. So check those out there. And check out our amazing friends that stream TTRPG content themselves or even some video game content. We have Ravnos Archon in there. Will, tell us what you are doing.
Oh my. I have a Vampire the Masquerade game. I am excited for our final season of Mage next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's coming here.
Yeah, boy. And I have Dungeons and Dragons on Friday because my Star Wars ended.
Excellent, excellent. All right, and also Junie is on our friends list as the RPG table. Tell us about your stream.
It is a Chicago-based stream, not in the same relative universe at all with here, thank God. We're on our 4th season, and we're just going crazy with.
And it is a vampire game, right?
Oh yeah, we're completely vampire. It's Anarch, actually.
Anarch. Oh,
so they are running around trying to find out a whole bunch of things. They've caused some chaos. Now they're getting a little mayhem thrown back at them. And, some things from seasons past are now coming up to play. So it's kind of like, you don't know now. Well, yeah, they're going to have to figure it out because this is a different cast.
excellent, excellent. And of course, we do have McStabber Studios merch. You can check that out in our Zazzle shop. For our one-shots, we really don't do any merch specifically for them. Do we have the I played a McStabber's one-shot and all I got was his t-shirt?
No,
or
he died in a
I died in a McStabber Studio one shot, and all I got was this T-shirt. We do have that under the studio merch category in our Zazzle shop. So while we didn't die in this one, most one shots have an atrocious death rate. Okay. Oh my goodness. And of course, if you would like to support the players in this game, you can give bits or donations. And again, thank you, Great Cthulhu, for the bits that you showed to our lovely cast here, because they really knocked it out of the park. And if you would like to support the studio, you can either subscribe with Prime for free or subscribe by paying. And it is September right now. Your subscriptions are discounted until the end of today. And also, you can go to our KoFi if you don't want to give Twitch half. You can donate directly to KoFi, and that will come directly to us. So thank you so much if you choose to do that. Then, now that I've gone over, I think, did I get everything? Yay, I got everything. I'm so out of practice with doing the entire outro. Sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, basically, so what we're going to do now is, as you saw, these were people that were traumatized by war, by loss, by... I know, I'll get to that after I do this. Oh yeah, schedule. That's right, schedule. But anyway, this game is all about how trauma affects mental health and how it impacts our interactions with others. And it is a brilliant little game to be written about that. And with that, I want you to understand that you need to take care of your own mental health. It is part of your whole system. It really is. And if you don't take care of what's up here, it's hard to take care of everything else. Please, if you are struggling and in crisis, right now in chat, there are numbers that you can call or text that you can get assistance based on your crisis need. And also, if you're not in crisis, but you're struggling, just reach out to someone. And if you're not struggling, but you haven't heard from someone in a while, reach out to them, check in on them, because that check-in might just be the one that saves their life. So please, please. And of course, there is also a link to a website where you can click that link and pull up, if you're outside of America, crisis support lines for a variety of situations in a variety of countries. I think they have over 140 countries right now in their database. So that Find a Helpline site is very useful in America or outside of it. Schedule coming up over the week. Tomorrow, Dr. Tiss is back with the return of London Esoteric Society Call of Cthulhu 7E at 3 p.m. Eastern. Supposedly, it's going to be the servants this time summoning elder beings from beyond and doing all kinds of crazy, chaotic stuff. It's going to be hilarious seeing the players place the servants of the investigators getting into a whole bunch of chaos and nonsense. So join us at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for Call of Cthulhu 7E with Tiss and her crew. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have our next installment of Windy City After Dark, Season 8. And this episode is going to be called Consequence of Hubris. It's a humdinger. 5 p.m. Sunday. You want to be there. And then on Tuesday, as Ravnos Archon said, we are back with Mage, the Ascension. This time it is Neon Hurricane. It is going to be a 2-month-long season as we wrap up this story of Miami, circa 80s and early 90s of Mage. The Ascension War, going strong. Time's been broken. It needs to be repaired. Mages, including myself, the Ivy Raven, Maddox, and Timberbrad, are going to have to fix some shit. And Will is going to be turning the screws every chance he gets. So that's what we have coming up. And of course, I'm Momma McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. Get your damn shots. It's flu season. Get your flu shot. COVID, there is a bivalent vaccine that you can get as a booster, or if you haven't been vaccinated, this vaccine actually works for the variants that have happened due to people not getting vaccinated. So please get that vaccine and make sure you get your polio vaccine updated if you are out of date on it, because that's making a comeback. So please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others, or you can protect others by not getting the diseases yourself. Also, Black Lives Matter. Indigenous lives matter. Abortion is healthcare. Vote blue. As if your rights were on the line, because they might be next. Also, fuck Putin. Yeah. And fuck the dictator of Iran. Because Iranian women are fighting for their right just to be equal in the streets, and and children are being murdered while they protest. And it's not being broadcast much of anywhere because they've shut down internet in the country. But there are a few that are able to get stuff out. So the world is on fire, y'all. We got to look out for each other because ain't nobody else going to do it. Said with love. Good night.